how can we, as RESURJ, as younger feminists from different parts of the global south, present alternatives to ideas and concepts that have been troubling us. And it started with just a few of us who felt that criminalization had its shortcomings. That some of it was theoretical, some of it was intellectual, some of it was cases that we've been following independently, and just made us very uncomfortable. And because RESURJ had that space where you can come in and share your personal experiences, it doesn't have to be something that was being done by your organization or by a wider movement inside your country, but it was something that you felt you needed to speak about.
My question is around what challenges did you face taking this conversation then outside of RESURJ to your context, to your region, because currently they're non-existent. And I think the tricky part is starting these conversations. It's uncomfortable because we're basically saying the things that we've been fighting for, they're not really working, and that's like going against a whole lot of people, a whole movement that have been pushing for things. And of course, some they have worked, some haven't worked. So what were the challenges that you faced, like taking this conversation outside back home?
One of the bigger challenges is that the minute you start questioning the criminalization of certain sexual violence, sexual violence violations, people automatically ask you, so you do not want rapists to go to jail? Do you not want, child molesters to be punished? And you see that from not just from people outside of your movement, but people from within your movement who seem perplexed because, like you said, it's a long established battle, whereas people feel that the achievement of a law criminalizing certain sexual violations was something worthy, and it was a long battle. And I think that one of the things we had to learn was to adapt our approach so that people understand that we're questioning, but we're not actually saying, we need rapists to be walking down the street. What we are saying is there must be more than one approach, because these are issues. We are all different individuals. There must be more than one approach that suits and fits and is essentially, survivor-centric. Because not all survivors have gone through this process and came out with a feeling of justified retribution in any way. And if the philosophy behind the criminal justice system that it prevents these acts from reoccurring, this has clearly not happened.
We have this curiosity towards more options, but also maybe the fact that we can look for more options while still holding on to all of this emotional baggage and programming that we've ourselves undergone, no? Because a lot of us have a background in law, for instance. And then how do I marry those two things within myself as I embark in this questioning has also been an enriching experience for me when we talk about criminalization and when we question it.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. For me, I mean, on a very personal level, maybe because I felt, I saw what the criminal justice is capable of, and it not just falling short of delivering justice in so many of the cases that we worked with, but also in actually turning the table around and turning the survivor into, into a defendant of some sort, someone who has to actually stand up and defend herself in most cases, and it puts this person on trial, and it's this uncomfortable positioning that makes individuals shy away from resorting to the system, but also the inherent biases within the infrastructure of the criminal justice system that is extremely difficult to fix, and extremely difficult to deny as well.
In terms of like when we speak about questioning criminalization, can you come up with like a set of do's and don'ts, or is that impossible?
Well, sure. I mean, one of the things I think we consciously start to think about is the language that we use, and I think this shift from victim to survivor is essential, because a victim is someone to whom things happen, but a survivor is someone who takes on a more of an empowering role, and this is what you need. This is that's what you're trying to do there. You're trying to make sure that this person is in charge of whatever process she decides on, so that she can move on with her life. The other thing is that I think this is a problem, that we get so carried away. We as activists, we get so carried away sometimes with our battles that we forget to stop and think, and ask and touch base with the people we work with. And is this still what you want? Is this still working for you?
Yeah.
And I think it's extremely important to always make sure that if they feel that, no, I actually want to go to the court, I want to be heard in front of a court of justice, or I want to prosecute this person, or I want to... These are all things that, whatever your own sort of thinking of this, these are all things that all survivors need to know. They have all of these options available, so that we're not trying to make away with everything that we've been working with, but we are really just trying to give them more solutions.